Welcome, family and friends. Before we start proceedings, I would like to acknowledge the Ramangeri and Narrangeri people, the traditional custodians of the land and surrounding waters where we live and work. We pay our respects to elders past and present. This respect is extended to all First Nations people across our land. Welcome you again, family and friends, as you gather here to farewell and celebrate the life of a greatly loved family member and friend. My name is Josephine Carestes, and as a funeral care consultant and celebrant, I feel very privileged that Aaltje's family shared some of their memories of her with me. Would you kindly ensure that your mobile phones are turned off or onto silent? Thank you. This ceremony to remember Aaltje takes on a few parts. The first part is a ceremony here at the Victor Harbour Bowling Club. Immediately afterwards, there is a burial ceremony at the Port Elliot Cemetery, and then later back here for refreshments. Your presence today means a lot to the family and that you've taken the time to be here. Thank you. We will commence proceedings with an opening prayer from Verity. Verity.
Thou knowest full well, O my God, that tribulations have showered upon me from all directions, and that no one shall dispel or transmute them except thee. I know of a certainty, by virtue of my love for thee, that thou wilt never cause tribulations to befall any soul, unless thou desirest to exalt his station in thy celestial paradise, and to buttress his heart in this earthly life with the bulwark of thine all-compelling power, that it may not become inclined towards the vanities of this world. Indeed, thou art well aware that under all conditions I would cherish the remembrance of thee far more than the ownership of all that is in the heavens and on the earth. Strengthen my heart, O my God, in thine obedience and in thy love, and grant that I may be clear of the entire company of thine adversaries. Verily, I swear by thy glory that I yearn for naught besides thyself, nor do I desire anything except thy mercy, nor am I apprehensive of aught save thy justice. I beg thee to forgive me as well as those whom thou lovest, whomsoever thou pleasest. Verily, thou art the Almighty, the Bountiful. Immensely exalted art thou, O Lord of the heavens and earth, and above the praise of all men, and may peace be upon thy faithful servants, and glory be unto God, the Lord of all the worlds. The Baal.
Thank you, Verity. When we think about Aaltje's remarkable life, there's quite a lot to reflect on, and her children Ben, Stephanie, John and Monica will share the readings and some of her story. Ben, would you like to start this off?
So, thank you. This is a poem that Mum asked me to read today. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood. I'm sorry I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood, looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other. It's just as fair, but having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and it wanted wear. Though as for that, both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. I should be telling this with a sigh, send my ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. To hold that the spirit is annihilated upon death of the body is to imagine that a bird imprisoned in a cage would perish if the cage were to be broken. Though the bird has nothing to fear from the breaking of the cage, this body, even as the cage and the spirit, is like the bird. We observe that the bird, unencumbered by its cage, soars freely in the world of sleep. Therefore, should the cage be broken, the bird would not only continue to exist, but its senses would be heightened, its perception would be expanded, and its joy would grow more intense. In reality, it would be leaving a place of torment for a delightsome paradise. For there is no greater paradise for the grateful birds than to be free from their cage. So I've been given the task of doing Mum's early years when she was in Holland. Each of the siblings will be given a different part of her life to speak to. So I speak to her childhood, being the youngest. So now, to understand Aaltje to Mum, we have to look at the world she was born into. She came into the world in February, in winter, 1936, in the town of Drachten. This is in Friesland, which is the northern province of the Netherlands. She was the second of 4 children, surrounded by siblings, grandparents, cousins, and a tight-knit community of neighbours. Now, Friesland had its own language, Fries, and its own stubborn pride. Friesland had warm, lush summers and freezing, bitter winters, and it shaped their life there. But everything changed when Aaltje was just 4 years old. The German army invaded the Netherlands. Because the Frisian people were seen racially acceptable by their occupation wasn't immediately violent. It was something quieter, I think something more insidious. Nazi officers ate at the family's table, and Aaltje was taught to be polite to the enemy, but never reveal anything. Her father, Benjamin, was in the habit of outwitting the occupiers. He created hiding spots under the stairs, masking them with pepper to fool the search dogs. He hid his car for 3 years to avoid its confiscation under a haystack. And when German officers eventually found it, he congratulated them with a smile. He grew tobacco in their garden, not food, because from great criticism from his neighbours, saying, "You're not looking after your family." But the tobacco leaves could be traded with the cigar maker, who would then give him cigars, which then he traded on the black market for meat and cheese and other perishables. So through that, Mum had learned without resources, you need to be resourceful. Through quiet brilliance, he kept the family properly fed. Aaltje's mum was afraid the Germans would bomb the school because they would sing anti-German songs in Fries, which the Germans wouldn't understand, but thought there might be someone who would sneak and tell them. And they would sing as loud as they were told to sing as loud as they could. No matter what will be, your thoughts are free. No matter what will be, your thoughts are free. And Aaltje, she was watching. She was learning. Her father, she learnt that rules could be bent, that cleverness could be a kind of courage. And soon enough, she found her own ways to outsmart authority, which as a parent is a blessing and a curse. As a young girl, she was actually used as a courier. She would ride her bike to collect food from a farmer that her father had trusted. But this one time, on return, she fell off her bike into a nettle bush, breaking the milk bottles and in her basket. Soaked with milk and stinging from the stinging nettles, she was terrified that the smell would give her away and endanger her father and the farmers. But even then, she understood bravery meant protecting others. So food was always on her mind, not greedily, but practically and strategically. And in our lives, food was always a strong thing about the nourishment, the things that it would give us. But Aaltje's cleverness wasn't only for serious matters. She used to keep life joyful too. She hated swimming lessons. So, on return from the swimming lessons, which she wouldn't get in the water, she would wet her hair, she would hang up her bathers up to dry and pretend that she'd been. And in a twist of fate, she later learnt to swim in a lake with a gentle slope, while her brother, who actually wanted to learn, never quite got the hang of it. She once skipped kindergarten entirely, going to a nearby playground with a boy instead. When asked at the playground, which were monitored, when she was asked if her mum was okay with it, and she said, "Yes, my mum wants me to be happy." Just looking straight in the face, which is hard to argue with that kind of logic, even if her parents had to pay for both the kindy and the playground. But even when Mum was punished and sent to her room, Mum found a way to make it magical. She'd crawl under the covers with a lamp and a book, and when she heard her father's footsteps on the stairs, she'd douse the light and pretend to be asleep. Books were everything to her. They were her sanctuary and her secret world. And she was devastated when they had to leave her books behind after the war when they moved to Canada. But she rebuilt her library, and our home growing up was always full of books, full of learning and full of wonder. Her kindness was just as strong as her wit. One day, walking to school, she saw a German soldier particularly sad. And her father had told her that not all the soldiers wanted to be there. They missed their families and they wanted to be at their homes too. They didn't want to be here. So, Mum was given a piece of fruit each day, which her dad would collect from the farms and they hid under their beds. And they were given one piece of fruit a day. And she chose to give that piece of fruit to this soldier who looked sad, who was away from their home. So it was a quiet act of compassion, even during a war. When the war ended, Friesland was liberated by the Canadians, and it was a moment of joy and a beginning of a new chapter in her life. Aaltje's childhood was shaped by war, but also by courage, resourcefulness, cheekiness, kindness, and a deep, lifelong love of books. She learnt from her father how to outwit danger, and she made that her skill her own, using it to push boundaries, protect others, and carve her own path. She was strong, she was clever, she was full of heart. She showed that resilience doesn't have to be hard or cold. It can be playful, joyful, quiet, brave. It can sneak under the blankets with a book. It can hand a piece of fruit to a stranger. It can smile sweetly while breaking a law or two. Aaltje was one of a kind, and we were so lucky to have known her, to have learned from her, and to have loved her. Thanks.
Thank you, Ben. Stephanie. Oh, Monica.
Stephanie and I swapped because she's more familiar with the next stage where she does hers. So I'll start with my reading. A friend asked, "How should one look forward to death?" Abdu'l-Baha answered, "How does one look forward to the end of any journey? With hope and with expectation. It is even so with the end of this earthly journey. In the next world, man will find himself freed from the many disabilities under which he now suffers. Those who have passed on through death have a sphere of their own. It is not removed from ours. Their work, the work of the kingdom, is ours, but it is sanctified from what we call time and place. Time with us is measured by the sun. When there is no more sunrise and no more sunset, that kind of time does not exist for man. Those who have ascended have different attributes from those who are still on earth, yet there is no real separation. In a prayer, there is a mingling of station, a mingling of condition. Pray for them as they pray for you." So my period of time is her youth in Canada. There's some pictures of her marriage to my father, to our father, and then also the challenges, the excitement that she had when she became a Baha'i, and how she came to be in Australia. So we've heard from Ben. Mum's story began in Friesland, in the Netherlands, where her childhood was shadowed by the trials of World War II. These difficult years fostered a resilience and in her spirit, one which would shape the rest of her life. Her father had a unique perspective on organised religion, which encouraged Mum to seek her own moral and spiritual path. That independent search for truth would become the foundation of her life. After the war, her family moved to Canada, where she took on work as an au pair before training as a paediatric nurse. Mum found immense joy in caring for children, particularly the Inuit babies, whom she held dear. This nurturing nature remained the core of who she was, a mother, a caregiver, and someone who always looked after others. Her spiritual quest continued through the mid-1950s. It was of all things, a search for accommodation that led her to a life-changing encounter. She met the Smiths, a couple radiating joy from their recent pilgrimage. Their warmth sparked her interest in the Baha'i faith. Declaring at a young age wasn't a simple decision. She needed parental consent, which led to some interesting discussions about whether she truly understood what she was doing, and they even questioned her sanity. She had decided one evening that she would go down for feast, not knowing at the time that she was expected to have completed a series of courses before she became a Baha'i. Her early Baha'i life was very rich at summer schools and conferences, where she was deeply influenced by the hands of the cause, including Horace Holly, William Sears, and John Robarts. She met inspiring figures such as Ruth Moffat and Stanwood Cobb. She had the privilege of contributing to the golden tiles in the Shrine of the Bab, a testament of her unwavering devotion. One of her treasured memories was a conversation with Ria Khanum after the passing of the Guardian, an experience that she would hold close to her heart. Mum's service on the London, Ontario Local Assembly during the time of the Guardian's letters prepared her for pioneering. Inspired by the 10-year crusade, she and our father travelled to Australia, where she helped establish the first local spiritual assembly in Murray Bridge. Her 4 children, Monica, John, Stephanie and Ben, were born and raised in Murray Bridge, nurtured by the early Baha'i community of South Australia and Victoria, and also influenced and guided by Hand of the Cause Collis Featherston. Starting life as a new immigrant in regional Australia in the 1960s was a challenge. Compared to the conveniences of Canada, life there was very humble. Our first home was a simple tin shed. But despite the hardships, Mum was determined that she would have a full and meaningful life. She sought out every opportunity to enrich us, ensuring we were surrounded by culture, education, and adventure. One of our favourite places to go was the Festival Theatre. It had just recently been opened. In Adelaide, she introduced us to art and music. She would take us to the galleries, museums, botanical gardens, for picnics, field gardens. When money allowed, we attended plays, the orchestra, the opera, and the zoo. Mum had a deep love for the environment. Long before sustainability became mainstream, she taught us about composting and permaculture. She took us to garden festivals and embraced what was at the time considered a hippie lifestyle. Mum was simply ahead of her time. She also took Steph to see Rudolph and Nureyev. And Ben, he thought that the Festival Theatre was the home of Pooh Bear. Her sense of adventure made our family trips quite unforgettable. Our holidays were never ordinary. We stayed at the home of Effie Baker in Victoria. We explored the goldfields near Kelly Country, and our car got stuck in a creek, a flooded creek. It was quite the drama. We camped at Flinders Ranges, the Coorong, and Zummersteins. Zummersteins was one of the most adventurous, where the kookaburras would steal sausages from the frying pan when we cooked breakfast. And we had an old man kangaroo come to help himself to the curry. We knew because when he was being hand-fed by the tourists, he had turmeric all around his face. Mum made these trips possible by giving each of us responsibilities, teaching us about teamwork and self-sufficiency along the way. She also had a big heart for the world. She believed in education, justice, and global unity. She was a passionate advocate for the United Nations and a supporter of the Theosophical Society, always encouraging meaningful discussions and action. She even found time to advocate for children's education with her local politicians. Her life was also deeply intertwined with pivotal Baha'i events. She attended national and international conferences, the Second World Congress, and had the privilege of pilgrimage. In 1996, she married Clyde Kripinuri, Naranga elder, deepening her connection to Indigenous culture. Their union was a testament to Mum's open heart and unwavering belief in the unity of all people. Later, she moved to the Fleurieu Peninsula, where she continued to serve, this time on the spiritual assemblies of Alexandrina and Victor Harbour. Her dedication to community service never wavered. Mum wasn't just a mother, she was a guide, a teacher, and an adventurer. Mum's life was one of purpose. She believed in making the world better, not just for us, but for future generations. She taught us to appreciate the world, to stand up for what matters, and to find joy in learning. Though she is no longer with us, we carry her love and wisdom in our hearts always. And John will continue with the next chapter of Mum's life.
John.
Excuse me, everyone. I might just stand next to the window if I can. excuse for chemical sensitivities, but fresh air is my friend. I have a slightly different tangent to everyone else so far. To start off with, I have me and Mum. Hey everyone, friends of Aaltje. I'm John Anthony Juicius Horrocks, and online I'm Jack Slater, and for entertainment, Judge. And no animals were injured in creating this presentation, and ChatGPT wasn't used. For me, the thing that epitomises the way Mum used to live life is actually from a pilgrim's note, which is when a pilgrim goes to the Holy Land and visits one of the special people in a religion. So for this particular pilgrim note, it was a family that went to visit with Abdul Baha, a prominent figure in the Baha'i faith. And the pilgrim note is walk the spiritual path with practical feet. And this was the way of my mum from my eyes. And for pretty much my whole life, I've actually been trying to find out where Mum got this quote from, because we've been told it ever since I can remember as kind of like the way you should be living your life. And it turns out that part of the Baha'i community in Hobart, there's a relative, like a grandma aged Baha'i there, and I quoted the quote to her, and she looked at me in astoundment, because it's like, how do I know this quote? Because apparently this quote is something that their family was the ones that it got handed down from generation to generation. So I found out where the actual quote came from. How Mum came across it, I really don't know, but the Baha'i lady that told me that that's what it was, a pilgrim's note from their family, was very delighted to hear that someone else in the world had taken on that particular quote. And I think that from that, I can say that growing up, every one of her children has taken that on in some shape or form. And it's possibly one of the foundations that's helped us become the wonderful people that we are today. Sorry, my technology is shifting up and down unexpectedly. Yeah, so from a practical perspective, growing up, I remember Mum loved gadgets, and she was always bringing home gadgets that would improve the practicality of life so that she could do more of the things she loved. And spiritual service in a natural form was pretty much the things that she loved to do. So anything that made it more efficient so that she could do more of that, which was like Monica and Ben had mentioned about liking nature and doing healing and doing spiritual type things. And it's something that we all have used in our lives. Strangely enough, even though Mum liked gadgets, computers were magical for her. But, you know, who doesn't like magic? In my mind's eye, I can see Mum's spirit sitting up in the corner, looking down on us, hoping that we actually have drones to come and pick up her casket and put them into the ground so that we can all focus on the spirit of connectedness between each other, because that was the thing that she loved most about the people in the world, how we connect, how we can love each other and bring society to a better place. The stage of Mum's life after Murray Bridge and crosses over a little bit with Monica's, but at this stage of Aaltje's life, she was living in Murray Bridge, children mostly moved out of home, and she was gently moving her natural therapy career to retirement, and this was kind of like a gentle, gradual thing, and I was really impressed at how she did it. A lot of older people at this stage of their lives get stuck on a respect kind of issue, but Mum seemed to not have that for some reason. My instinct on it is that she looked at it from a perspective she could identify that she was being considered and cared for, and I think that that helped her with the relationship of respect. She was also very involved with the broader Baha'i community in the world from a global perspective, and she was very committed to Baha'i governance, so that's like part of LSAs and things like that, and she continued her soul-to-soul way of sharing her beliefs, developing lasting friendships with those she had intellectual and spiritual affinities. At this stage, the family was expanding. Aaltje went from Mum to Grandma Aaltje and Auntie Aaltje. We now have Changs with baby Changs, Horrockses with baby Horrocks, Juicius with baby Juicius, Juicius Dixons with baby DJs, Horrocks Ilsleys with their spirit babies, Crapinuaries and their Litlands, and she loved us all like a bright hug that gently wafted and touched your soul. It is likely the most significant part of this phase of Aaltje was when she fell in love with Clyde Crapinuary, Papa Clyde to family. Aaltje had a type, handsome and cavalier, the cool guy, a bro. It seems they also have similar cultural undertones. Aaltje, as a native Frieslander, identified as a minority group of the Netherlands, where they struggled for identity, as did Stas in his homeland Lithuania and Clyde in Australia. Given Aaltje's non-service commitment, Clyde probably had his work cut out for him, as clearly they were meant to be together. They had many good years together, sharing their spiritual love and skills with family and community in service to humanity. I feel happy and blessed to have a family that was able to share these cultural and spiritual experiences. When Aaltje and Clyde could no longer be together, they were both heartbroken, and the families went into a type of confusion. Aaltje moved to live in a convent for a time. Regaining her spiritual resolve, she had a great affinity for the nuns and especially loved visits from her granddaughter Celeste, which lifted her spirits. Revitalised, there was no sleeping at the switch. It was go again. And it seemed her spirit was even brighter. Grandma Aaltje's grandchildren have a special place in her heart. She will travel Australia visiting them, bring home wonderful stories of how great they are and their wonderful achievements. Each was unique and special and greatly loved. Seeing a grandchild run up to Grandma for a hug with a huge smile and glee in their eyes, a part of my most treasured memories. Before the time of smartphones, one of my most touching moments was hosting great-grandma Rena in Canada, grandma Aaltje, granddaughter Celeste, in our little Adelaide unit. They happily laughed and chatted on the phone, sharing their love. It was like their souls were touched. A personal note. I love my mum deeply and will be her spiritual friend as long as spirits survive. She defended us against horrors that should not be experienced by children. I testify that with all her strength and spirit, she loves her partners, loves her children, her grandchildren, her diverse family, the Baha'is, the people of the world, and only wanted the best for everybody. Her life goal was to help us, her children, to become the best Baha'is we could be. As a happy, wise woman, I believe she had 100% success. Thanks, Mum. Keep doing you.
Steph.
You sure we can't get it in there? Yeah, there you go. Ever resourceful. Okay. Well, I'm sharing with you something that Mum obviously pondered every day because it was posted in her toilet bathroom. So depending whether she was there for a long time or a short time, I personally got to memorise the first bit, and clearly I didn't stay as long as others. Anyway, Mum's reading. Be generous in prosperity and thankful in adversity. Be worthy of the trust of thy neighbour and look upon him with a bright and friendly face. Be a treasure to the poor, an admonisher to the rich, an answerer of the cry of the needy, a preserver of the sanctity of thy pledge. Be fair in thy judgment and guarded in thy speech. Be unjust to no man and show all meekness to all men. Be as a lamp unto them that walk in darkness, a joy for the sorrowful, a sea for the thirsty, a haven for the distressed, an upholder and defender of the victim of oppression. Let integrity and uprightness distinguish all thine acts. Be as a home for the stranger, a balm to the suffering, a tower of strength for the fugitive. Be eyes to the blind, a guiding light unto the feet of the erring. Be an ornament to the countenance of truth, a crown to the brow of fidelity, a pillar of the temple of righteousness, a breath of life to the body of mankind, an ensign of the host of justice, a luminary above the horizon of virtue, a dew to the soil of the human heart, an ark on the ocean of knowledge, a sun in the heaven of bounty, a gem on the diadem of wisdom, a shining light in the firmament of thy generation, a fruit upon the tree of humility. Baha'u'llah. Aaltje's later life was beautifully enriched over the last 20 years as she called the Fleurieu Peninsula home, living in Port Elliot, Goolwa, and finally Victor Harbour. During this time, our family grew with the arrival of 3 more grandchildren, Martha, Sky and Elijah, bringing the total to 6. Aaltje cherished every moment spent with them, delighting in their stories, achievements, and interests, thus creating a close, loving bond. I was fortunate to spend much time with Mum during these years, engaging in a variety of activities that strengthened our connection. Aaltje found joy in her vibrant cottage garden, where she loved to potter and admire the wonderful diversity of textures, foliage, and colourful blooms. She often took long walks in nature with Gertie, her walking buddy, appreciating the beauty of gardens, the river, and the beach, always with a sense of wonder. Aaltje kept herself busy and active, maintaining close relationships with her neighbours and friends. She joined Create and Connect community art group alongside me, where she particularly enjoyed the diverse group of people and exploring her creativity and allowing her caring nature to shine. Her involvement in the Baha'i singing group gave her great joy and uplifted her spirit. Saturday morning prayers for peace highlighted her connection to the Baha'i community and people of all religions. She had a remarkable ability to see the goodness in people, often reminding us with one of her sayings, "We are not our behaviour." This wisdom allowed her to connect with individuals from all walks of life. Her generosity extended to sharing her knowledge and skills. Many of you here may fondly remember receiving one of her impromptu neck or shoulder rubs, a simple act that reflected her caring nature. As dementia took hold in her later years, Aaltje's humour remained a bright light. When asked by her carers, "Are you all right?" she'd quip, "Oh no, I'm half left." I would sometimes say to her after a hug, "Gosh, Mum, you seem to have lost weight. Look at me, I seem to have found it," which amused her greatly. Another one that never failed to get a chuckle was when it was time to leave somewhere. I'd say, "Hey, Mum," as one shepherd said to the other shepherd, "Let's get the flock out of here." And we'd leave smiling. Our playful exchanges continued to bring joy and was a reminder of her enduring spirit. Aaltje's life was a tapestry of kindness, humour, and resilience that touched everyone she met. Her spirit was infectious, and her love echoed in the hearts of her family and friends. As we reflect on her journey, we are reminded of the lessons she imparted and the love she shared. Aaltje had a way of making every moment special, whether it was through her storytelling or her unwavering support. She taught us the importance of connection, and her compassion extended far beyond her immediate family. She had a unique ability to make people feel valued and cared for, and her home was always a welcome sanctuary. In her later years, while dementia may have clouded her memory, it didn't dull her spirit. She continued to share her joy, teaching us, even in difficult times, laughter can be a powerful healer. Aaltje's legacy is one of love, strength, and understand that life is about the connections we forge and the kindness we share. Some words that embody Aaltje: tenacious, free-spirited, kind, resourceful, a lover of travel, and a dedicated mother. While we may not have had much money, we were rich in love and experiences, thanks to her guidance and love of learning. As we say goodbye, let us carry her memory with us, honouring her by embodying the qualities she cherished. Let us continue to be tenacious, loving and open-hearted, just as she was. Aaltje may have left this world, but her spirit will forever live on in each of us. Finishing with an example of Mum's lifelong independent spirit, ever the adventurer, she decided to check out the other funeral home before ending up at this one. A few hours later, the faux pas was discovered and she was sent the right way, still needing directions in the afterlife.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you, speakers. As is customary, we'll now hear the prayer for the dead. Ben?
So the recitation of this prayer, I'll ask you all to stand if you're able. O my God, this is thy handmaiden and the daughter of thy handmaiden, who hath believed in thee and in thy signs, and set her face toward thee, wholly detached from all except thee. Thou art verily of those who show mercy the most merciful. Deal with her, O thou who forgivest the sins of men and concealest their faults. As beseemeth the heaven of thy bounty and the ocean of thy grace. Grant her admission within the precincts of thy transcendent mercy that was before the foundation of earth and heaven. There is no God but thee, the forever forgiving, the most generous. Aloha pa. We all verily worship God. 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 Aloha pa. We all verily bow down before God. 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 Aloha pa. We all verily are devoted unto God. We are all verily devoted unto God. We all verily are 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 devoted unto God. Aloha pa. We all verily give praise unto God. 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 Aloha pa. We all verily yield thanks unto God. 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 Aloha pa. We all verily are patient in God. 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 Thanks. You sit down. Thanks.
Thanks, Ben. To continue recalling Aaltje's life, we're now going to watch a slideshow. Please reflect on your own memories at this time before we hear a chant. Thank you.
See me beautiful, look for the best in me. It's what I really am, and all I wanna be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. See me beautiful, each and every day. Could you take a chance? Could you find a way to see me shining through in everything I do and see me beautiful? See me beautiful, look for the best in me. It's what I really am, and all I wanna be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful. See me beautiful, each and every day. Could you take a chance? Could you find a way to see me shining through in everything I do and see me beautiful?
Blessed is
We're coming to the end of this part of the ceremony and we'll be leaving immediately for the Port Elliot Cemetery. You are kindly requested to go directly to your cars and follow the hearse. Would you please stand? In love and respect, you have remembered Aaltje's life and recalled the person she has been. We will now continue to the Port Elliot Cemetery, and I would invite Carla to come forward, please.
Can I please call upon the pallbearers? Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to follow behind?
This day, Baha'u'llah, talking to the world about justice. Oh, what a wonder this justice. Surely it's the day of God. Justice.